You just don't get funded. And just like a person like myself, I could have been a big actress. I could have been a supermodel. Yeah, I could have, but I just didn't take those steps because I knew what it would involve. I knew that I would have to be their forever slave. If I did those things, I could be kicked out as soon as I'm 30 years old. I'm washed up and old. It's over. My time is done. They're going to go to the next one. And then you have to live with that for the rest of your life, you know?
Yeah,
And
Juliet.
especially, and I like those, and especially men, like, okay, like what Diddy did to these actors. Like, you take somebody like Ashton Kutcher. We know he was at the parties. We've seen him in the videos. Maybe he was blackmailed one time and then maybe he ended up liking it and kept going. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a model, I was in that crossroad, in that pivotal crossroad where I had to make the decision, am I going to be staying a good person, or am I going to, go move forward ahead and be not sleep at night. I want to sleep at night, you know.
I'm interested in politicians as well who are involved. And if you look at the flight logs, there's a couple of dozen entries of Bill Clinton. He's not got his security detail on the flight log. He's just got a bunch of names that sound like East European girls' names. So what would your interpretation of that be?
Okay. So I I went out with one of my best friends who was human trafficked. She's no longer here. One of our friends at the time was 25 years old. She was working for Bill Clinton. She worked for the Clinton Foundation. She was also dating a gentleman that was always around Diddy, always around on the scene. He was always around Leo. His name starts with the R, ends with the E. He was very prevalent everywhere. Uh, I don't know if he was like a works for the government. I don't know, but she was dating him. And she was 25 at the time, and we were trying to research his age. He was maybe around 56, 57 at the time. We went on his private jet to Las Vegas to go visit Michael Jackson, and then we went to his house in La Jolla. She was working for Clinton, and I told her I just bought an apartment in New York, and my next door neighbor was his daughter. So every time I was in New York working, because I was traveling to London and Paris, I knocked on their door. I said, whenever your dad's visiting, I want to have a chat with him because I wanted to talk to him because my friend worked for him. So there was a lot of dodgy business with that, in that scene. But my friend that worked for Bill said that Bill was always out and always around and always going to the parties. I never saw him at Epstein's, but my friend worked for him and she dated his close friend that is also compromised.
Did you ever see the art of Bill in the blue dress in Epstein's property?
I didn't see that. I wasn't looking for it.
With hindsight, then looking at it now, I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of trophy that Epstein would have commissioned?
I think it's blackmail. I think he's like looking at you and saying, if you say anything, it's over for you. That's just me. That's just my
So,
take.
so do you get the impression that the Clintons are pretty corrupt?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's, if I have to use my brain, yes. Yes.
Ronnie, Ron.
There's nothing positive I've seen. I don't know. Everything's negative.
Yeah. Okay, I just
I
want
mean,
to.
he's a charming guy. He's charming. I mean, he's good looking. He's charming. Yeah, I mean, I could see why women liked him, you know?
All right. So listen, everybody, can we, at this stage, can we share? I just want to remind everybody that Barb's story is large, and we will be doing 3 more shows next week, diving into more specific sections, the Diddy, the Jay-Z, the CEOs. This is a broad spectrum that we're getting tonight because it all ties back to the mindset of a fixer, a black book, and the infamous Epstein. Now, make sure you like, make sure you share, you should subscribe at this point, and make sure you get your questions ready. One of the shows next week, we will be doing a Q&A so that you guys can come and have your say. These, we want to hear what you guys have to think and be able to put your views across. And, Barbara, when we spoke before this,
Yeah.
it's so important that the underlying story is this exposure of the modeling industry. It's this use of women at this level, because we often hear about the levels beneath that. Young girls groomed on Instagram by some weirdo to a hotel to have pictures taken, and that is the lower end of the monster chart in this. And as we go up, the taste, the power, the depravity just seems to multiply. And that is why your story is so large. We want to make sure that at the center of this, we have this exposure of this level of the modeling world. And, Shaun, the individuals that you were pressing Barbara on, how crazy is that to have all that corroborated and to have yet another person who's lived the same stories as the people that you've interviewed, and these monsters, alive or dead, to start having the realities voiced?
Well, we've been studying this and researching it and interviewing people about this for about 6 years. And, we've heard so many different stories, and everything you've said, Barbara, just dovetails completely with what the other people have told us. So yeah, it's great to have a fresh voice legitimize what we've been told for so long, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. I just want to help other victims, and I wish they would all come forward and we could all connect and share our stories together and maybe connect the dots and see where this goes, because I want to know what's going on too. I want to know I want to know who's calling the shots. What kind of affiliation is this? Because it's very big. It's all connected. It's all connected to actors, models, entertainment, sports, politicians, the government. I mean, it's all, in the end, it's all blackmail. For it, that's all it is. It's blackmail, using people to get what you want. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Mm.
And if you don't have parents that teach you these things in life, these parents these parents want to be rich and famous too. So they exploit their children to be rich and famous. They don't care about their kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. Like, I mean, look at Justin Bieber, for instance. Where's his parents? Where's his parents? I mean, I have stories about him too.